What is up, beautiful people of my YouTube community? How are we all doing tonight? I just got finished watching Elimination Chamber 2023, and my God, what a pay-per-view. First of all, I think the main event did everything it needed to do. I think it protected Sammy. I think it furthered the story with the Usos and Sammy. I think it furthered the story with Sammy and Roman Reigns. I think it did everything it needed to do tonight. I don't really think there was anything I didn't really enjoy about the show tonight, honestly. Pretty solid show all around. I think Triple H heading into this year's WrestleMania, he's not fucking around, and he's ready to go balls to the wall fully about everything. And so, I guess we could just start off with the start, honestly. So the show started off with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. It was Liv versus Asuka versus Raquel versus Natty versus Carmella versus Raquel. So the Elimination Chamber match was, I think it was probably the weakest part of the show, only because the Women's Elimination Chamber matches aren't always that good. But honestly, in all honesty, I thought it was okay. I thought it did its job to establish Asuka as the winner to challenge Bianca Belair. I thought a couple bright spots about this show was Liv Morgan had a really good showing. Raquel had a really good showing that I think kept her strong. Overall, it was a pretty good Elimination Chamber to kick off the show. Asuka, I think, is definitely the right winner for sure. Based on her new character coming back, she seems really dominant. And I think her and Bianca Belair will be good, honestly. And then, so, other than that, this show was always built up to be the culmination of Sammy and Roman, and then branch into another storyline. So, the match itself, the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view itself, felt like an appetizer to WrestleMania. Appreciate it, Jacob. And then, so then we got, so then after that we got, was the Brock and Bobby match, which Brock and Bobby was a pretty good match. I always thought all their matches were pretty good, previously. Brock and Bobby have always had pretty decent banger matches. This one kind of ended in a way that kind of made me upset a little bit. DQ for a Brock and Bobby match, I did not expect. The only thing I think of now is if Bray and Bobby are now versing, I guess you could do the Wyatt Six versus the Hurt Business. Not entirely sure on that, but, and then, after that you had, I think it was the mixed tag match. Yeah, the mixed tag match between Edge and Beth versus the Judgment Day. Also, Brock kind of went on a rampage after the match and kind of F5 refs and F5 Bobby. So I don't know where this is leading to. I can only hope to imagine where it's leading to, essentially. But then after that, you had Edge and Beth versus the Judgment Day. This match had a bunch of shenanigans in it, whether it be Dominic or just a bunch of other kind of stuff going on. Match was really good. I think Edge winning in the way he won didn't really damage Finn and Rhea, so I think that was a good move on their part. Honestly, that match was kind of like a precursor to the U.S. title match. I think the men's elimination chamber was a little bit better than the women's this year around. Not to take anything away from the women at all, but I think the men's, because it was for the title, meant a little bit more to people. So you had the mixed tag match. Edge and Beth win. I can only imagine this is leading to Edge and Balor at WrestleMania and a Hell in a Cell match, is what I can imagine. And then, other than that, it's just kind of like, other than that, it's kind of like, then you had the Elimination Chamber for the U.S. title, which was Austin Theory defending against Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. I thought the U.S. Elimination Chamber match was pretty good. I think Montez Ford had a really good, strong showing in that match. I think Bronson Reed, the way he got pinned was well warranted, I think. They kind of protected him. Theory obviously kind of retains. No, I don't. But Theory kind of retains in kind of a pretty good fashion. I'm doing my live stream. Can you leave? No, you're not into this stuff. Can you just go? Bye. Leave. Bye. But then what was I gonna say? Yeah, Theory ended up retaining his US title in a pretty good match. You had Seth, you had a couple cool spots at the end there where Bronson Reed kind of got eliminated by a lot of different maneuvers. Johnny Gargano had a pretty overall strong showing. Then you had what's it called? Damian Priest had a pretty good showing. I think the Elimination Chamber match for the men's US title was a really good one. I think they did everything they needed to do to make it seem legit, honestly. And then other than that, Austin Theory retained, but I kind of get why he retained, because at the end, it was Seth and Theory, and Logan Paul kind of interfered. So I think that's setting up Logan and Seth at Mania. And I think this is also setting up Theory and Cena at Mania for the U.S. title. Or maybe not for the U.S. title, but I think Cena definitely puts Theory over, if you had to ask my opinion on it. Then this was all a precursor to, obviously, the main event. And boy, oh boy, where do I even get started with this main event? First of all, this main event was a long time, and I felt like it took as much time as it needed to develop every single small plot storyline in this story over the past 2 years. So you had Roman Reigns, obviously the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, 900 days as champion, which, just step aside for a minute. I'm going to give Roman Reigns all the credit he deserves. 900 days as the champion is impressive. I've never seen a champion have that long of a reign before. He's been on a different level ever since he started this heel gimmick, honestly, in my opinion. And his matches just keep getting better and better. His promo work keeps getting better and better. So massive props to him, honestly. But, this was all about, even on SmackDown last night, this was all about Sami Zayn in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Obviously, that's his hometown. Obviously, things were going to happen. So you had Roman versus Sami in the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship match. Honestly, you had... So Roman came out first. Obviously, loads of boos. A bunch of boos, a bunch of F you Roman, a bunch of Roman sucks, because that's what a good heel does. Roman is one of the best heels in probably the business right now. I probably see he's up there with MJF. I don't know which one's 1 and 2, but those are two of the best heels in the business right now, in my opinion. Yeah, Roman come out first. No Solo, no Jay, no Jimmy, right? Cool. I figured they'd be in later in the match as a surprise. Got it. Okay. Paul Heyman and Roman come out. Boos everywhere. Boos, 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 boos. F you Roman. Roman sucks. All that shit, right? Sami Zayn comes out. And last night on SmackDown, he did come back to his original entrance. And I thought maybe it was just for SmackDown. And maybe not for the pay-per-view. But they ended up putting his original entrance back for the pay-per-view. And you should have heard that crowd. That crowd is definitely one of the hottest I've seen since it's akin to Piper in Portland. It's akin to Punk in Chicago. It was a really hot crowd. Sammy comes out with his old theme. The roof blew off the place at the Bell Center in Montreal. I don't know, but the roof definitely blew off the place. That's all I know for sure. Um, Sammy comes out. Roman's already in the ring waiting. Sammy, goes up to all his family. His wife's there. His kids are there. All that. They made this build up like this is Sammy's WrestleMania moment, right? Sammy does his entrance, and before the match even starts, they have a bunch of time allotted to where you just hear the crowd say Sammy's name, chant Sammy's name, etc., obviously. And then after that, Sammy kind of Roman's like, all right, it's time to go. So they lock up, right? Chin lock, right? Finisher after finisher, signature after signature, big move after big move, obviously. Sammy and Roman both had a bunch of 2.99 kickouts, which were crazy. Eventually, you get to the eventual rough bump, right? I think Sammy was in the corner. Roman was in the corner. Sammy was about to deliver a move. Roman pushed the ref in Sammy's way. The ref goes down. All right, first man to come out is Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso super kicks Sammy, super kicks him again, and super kicks him a few more times. Sammy goes down, right? And then once that happens, the ref's still out. Then Roman asks Paul to go get a chair, right? Roman has the chair. And I couldn't see at the time because it didn't flash over to where it was. But then I see that Jimmy or Jay is in the ring in between Roman and Sammy. Everyone in their mind is like, who is Jay's, what side is Jay on, essentially, right? And then Jay pretty much hits, or he doesn't do anything. Jay kind of sits there, and Roman's about to hit Sammy, and Jay's just kind of like sitting there. And Roman's like, what? That's not your family. Like, it's him or me. It's extra, right? He hands Jay the chair. And this is akin to what they did at the Rumble, right? Roman steps up, like, in that spot, like he's about to get hit, right? Jay doesn't do anything. Roman goes over him, pushes his face, all that type of jazz, right? Then Jay doesn't do anything, drops the chair, rolls out of the ring, or he gets hit or whatever. He gets out of the equation, right? So you have Jimmy, right? Jimmy then, I think, no. Ref's still down. Roman hits him with the chair. Sammy a bunch of times with the chair. Roman hits a spear, 1, 2, 3, right? So it's a clean win. Sammy is protected, obviously. He got screwed by chair shots and bloodline interference, right? So he's protected. Like, no matter what, he's protected. Then you get to the finish of the match, so which is Roman winning, right? Jimmy is there. Jay is nowhere to be seen. So we still don't know what side Jay's on. I feel like we'll get that here leading up to Mania to build to KO and Sammy versus Usos for the tag titles. I feel like that will happen. But you get what's it called? You get Jimmy in here beating up on Sammy. Same with Roman, right? And you're like, who can save Sammy? I mean, everyone kind of logically thought it'd be KO to set up that match. But then, KO's music hits, right? Crowd goes freaking nuts because KO is from Montreal, Quebec, Canada as well, right? KO comes out. Sammy's obviously beaten up. Sammy just lost the match, lost the championship against Roman. Didn't win it in Montreal, as much as his build up. But I think they did it perfectly to where Sammy isn't hurt by it, right? No one was upset. No one left unhappy because of the way they did it. So, match is over. Roman and Jimmy continue the beatdown. Solo's not there. Jay is left. We don't know what side Jay's on. KO's music hits. KO comes out, attacks Jimmy, attacks Roman, hits him with the stunner. Roman gets out of the ring. Then, KO looks at Sammy, don't really do anything, slides out of the ring, powerbombs Jimmy through a table, kind of walks around the ring, looks at Sammy again, and then just kind of walks away. But this said to me, like, okay, KO and Sammy are back together, but it's not official yet. Now, I think there's going to be a segment on either Raw or SmackDown to where Roman, or no, not Roman, I think to where Jay comes out and he says, I'm realigned with the bloodline, or he attacks Sammy. And then that leads to the Usos versus KO and Sammy at Mania. And I think also on Raw or SmackDown, Sammy's going to be out there. He's going to say, I tried my best to try to win the title in Montreal, my hometown, against Roman. Like, that was my WrestleMania. But then I think Sammy's going to be like, but, and then KO's going to come out and he's going to go like, KO, you tried, or Sammy, you tried your hardest. All your family and friends were behind you, and I'm your true best friend, and, we could take him down if we team up. I think KO will say that. And so KO and Sammy will team up and then take down the Usos at Mania to win the tag titles, and then you could still do Roman and Cody. So overall thoughts on this show, I think it was really good. I think the majority of the show was building up to the main event. I think the main event delivered everything it needed to deliver. I think it protected Sammy. I think it furthered the Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sammy, and KO storyline. I think it furthered the Roman Reigns and Bloodline storyline. And I'm excited to see where things go from here. But, I mean, this pay-per-view was probably one of the most anticipated pay-per-views behind Rumble. I think I would say it was ahead of WrestleMania because of this match alone, and I think it delivered. And so if you had to ask me to rate it, I mean, I would probably give it, like, I think it was better than Royal Rumble by a long shot. And the reason I say that is because the whole Royal Rumble pay-per-view was leading up to, was just the main event, right? If that ending was not there, that was going to be a thumbs down show for me. That was not going to be a good show. But because of that ending at the Rumble, it turned up to be an up show. But this show, I felt like really carried itself. I felt like it wasn't just about Roman and Sammy. I felt like it was a good proponent of it, a good portion of it, but I felt like the whole show in itself was a Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Felt like a TakeOver pay-per-view. So overall, very, very pleased with the pay-per-view. Cannot wait for WrestleMania. Definitely better than Royal Rumble. And that ending, the whole match was done perfectly. Everyone is protected. Everyone gets their story, or their storyline furthered in the ending of the match, in the outcome of the match. And I think Triple H couldn't have booked it any better. Anyway, that was my thoughts on the Elimination Chamber 2023 Premium Live event post-show. As always, I will see you guys in the next upload. Peace and have a good night.